5. Golden foods that protect heart health. In every stage of life, the heart remains the quiet engine that keeps us moving, breathing, loving, and living. And yet, as we grow older, this powerful organ becomes more sensitive to the choices we make every single day, especially the choices we make about the foods we place on our plate. For millions of Americans, heart disease is still the #1 health concern, affecting families from coast to coast. But the encouraging truth is that nutrition remains one of the most effective and accessible tools for protecting the heart, no matter your age. Today on Science of Health, we will explore 5 remarkable foods, often called golden foods, that nourish, strengthen, and protect the heart from within. These foods are more than ingredients. They are daily forms of self-care, capable of supporting longevity, vitality, and a healthier future. The journey begins with one of the most celebrated foods in heart-protective nutrition, the humble yet mighty salmon. This deeply colored fish, whether wild-caught from the cold waters of Alaska or purchased fresh from a trusted local store, contains one of the richest sources of omega-3 fatty acids known to science. These omega-3s reduce inflammation, help lower triglycerides, improve blood vessel elasticity, and even support stable heart rhythms. For older adults, inflammation is one of the leading causes of cardiovascular decline, and omega-3s actively counter that process. Many seniors across the United States shy away from seafood because they fear a strong flavor, but salmon remains one of the most approachable, mild, and versatile fish options. Whether baked, grilled, or lightly sautéed, it offers powerful nourishment without sacrificing taste. Eating salmon even twice a week can create measurable changes in heart health, helping the heart operate more smoothly and efficiently. The second golden food is one that many people overlook, even though it sits right in the produce aisles of every grocery store across America: berries, especially blueberries and strawberries. These small, vibrant fruits hold some of the highest concentrations of antioxidants found in nature. Antioxidants fight off the oxidative stress that damages the heart and blood vessels. As we age, oxidative stress becomes more aggressive, speeding up the stiffening of arteries and making the heart work harder. Berries help reverse that process from the inside out. Their deep colors come from anthocyanins, powerful compounds proven to improve blood pressure, enhance artery flexibility, and reduce the risk of heart attacks. For seniors who may not want heavy meals or who prefer light snacks, berries offer the perfect solution: refreshing, easy to eat, and packed with nutrition. Whether blended in smoothies, sprinkled on oatmeal, or enjoyed fresh by the handful, berries make heart protection deliciously simple. Our third golden food is one that has transformed countless American households, especially among those seeking healthier cooking choices: extra virgin olive oil, often called liquid gold. This oil has been the foundation of the Mediterranean diet, a dietary pattern consistently ranked as the healthiest in the world for heart protection. Extra virgin olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats, which help reduce bad cholesterol, increase good cholesterol, and support healthy blood vessel function. But the benefits go far beyond cholesterol levels. High-quality olive oil contains polyphenols, natural plant compounds that calm inflammation, protect artery walls, and support better blood flow. For older adults, this makes a profound difference. Cooking with olive oil instead of butter or processed oils reduces the burden placed on the cardiovascular system. Drizzling it over roasted vegetables, using it in salad dressings, or adding it to whole grain pasta can elevate both the flavor and health value of a meal. It is one of the simplest yet most transformative habits older adults can adopt. The fourth golden food comes from the world of nuts. The one rises above the rest in its ability to nourish the heart: walnuts. These beautifully shaped nuts contain a unique combination of omega-3s, antioxidants, fiber, and plant-based proteins that work together to lower inflammation and stabilize cholesterol levels. For seniors who need healthier snack options, walnuts offer the perfect balance. They provide long-lasting energy without the sugar or processed ingredients found in packaged snacks. Research has shown that even a small daily serving of walnuts can reduce artery stiffness, improve circulation, and slow the buildup of plaque in blood vessels. Many older adults appreciate walnuts not only for their health benefits, but for their comforting, earthy flavor that blends easily with salads. yogurt, and morning oatmeal. In a world filled with heavily processed foods, walnuts represent a return to simple, natural nourishment. Our fifth and final golden food may surprise some viewers, but its benefits are undeniable: oats, especially minimally processed whole oats such as rolled oats or steel-cut oats. Oats contain a special type of soluble fiber known as beta-glucan, which binds to cholesterol in the digestive system and helps remove it from the body. For seniors struggling with high cholesterol, one of the most common risk factors for heart disease, oats offer a safe, gentle, and effective solution. But oats do even more than lower cholesterol. They provide slow-releasing energy, helping stabilize blood sugar levels throughout the day. They also support a healthier gut, which emerging research shows is closely linked to heart health. For older adults who prefer warm, comforting foods that are easy to digest, oatmeal becomes a valuable daily ritual. Adding berries, walnuts, or a drizzle of olive oil can transform a simple bowl of oats into a powerful heart-protective meal. But the story of these 5 golden foods does not end with their individual benefits. Their real power comes from how they work together in a balanced dietary pattern. The human heart does not thrive on one magic ingredient. It thrives on a combination of nutrients, habits, and choices that, over time, create resilience. When older adults consistently include salmon, berries, olive oil, walnuts, and oats in their meals, they nourish their bodies in a deeply holistic way. They reduce inflammation, improve cholesterol, strengthen arteries, stabilize blood pressure, enhance energy, and support the long-term health of their cardiovascular system. For seniors across the United States, taking care of the heart is not just a medical responsibility, it is an act of self-respect, independence, and hope. Many older adults fear that their best years are behind them, especially if they face a heart condition. But the truth is far more uplifting. The heart can improve at any age, even in later life, with the right foods and habits. The heart becomes stronger, more efficient, and more resilient. The goal is not perfection, the goal is progress. Every small change, replacing butter with olive oil, choosing oats instead of sugary cereals, snacking on walnuts instead of chips, is a step toward better health and a longer, more vibrant life. Understanding the power of food also gives families a chance to support their loved ones in meaningful ways. Adult children, caregivers, and spouses can help by preparing heart-healthy meals, stocking the pantry with better options, and encouraging older adults to make mindful choices without feeling overwhelmed. Nutrition becomes a shared journey, one that strengthens not only the heart but the bonds between generations. And to those listening today who may be struggling with heart concerns or feeling discouraged by past habits, let this message bring reassurance. It is never too late to start caring for your heart. Every meal offers a fresh opportunity to nourish your body. Every day is a chance to choose foods that support healing rather than harm. Your heart has carried you faithfully through a lifetime of experiences, and it deserves the best care you can give. At Science of Health, we are honored to guide you through these meaningful choices. If today's message helped you learn something valuable, inspired you to eat more mindfully, or gave you a sense of control over your health, then we invite you to continue this journey with us. Your click, your engagement, and your presence help us bring life-changing information to seniors and families everywhere. Foods you should avoid when you have heart disease. I want you to take a slow breath with me before we begin, because this conversation, it matters. Not just as information, not as another health video floating around the internet, but as a moment to pause where you and I sit together, as two people who've lived long enough to understand that the heart is more than an organ. It's a witness. It remembers everything we've been through. Every loss, every joy, every night we stayed awake worrying, every morning we promised ourselves we'd try again. And when we talk about heart disease, we're not just talking about something happening inside the body. We're talking about years of stories written quietly, beat by beat. After more than 30 years working with patients over 50, I've learned something: people don't get sick overnight, and healing doesn't happen overnight either. It begins with awareness, and then with small, steady, almost ordinary choices that, over time, become extraordinary. Today, I want to talk with you about the foods that quietly, slowly, sometimes invisibly, make heart disease worse. And I want to talk about them not to scare you, but to give you back a sense of control, something many of my patients feel they've lost. So let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I had a patient, let's call him Michael, 72 years old, quiet man, loved fishing, always wore the same sun-faded baseball cap. When he first sat in my office, he looked at me with tired eyes and said, "Doc, my heart feels older than I am." Maybe you've felt that way too. Maybe you've had mornings where your chest feels heavy, or walking up a flight of stairs feels like climbing a mountain. Maybe you've gotten the news high blood pressure, clogged arteries, cholesterol numbers that make you shake your head and say, "How did I let it get this far?" If that's you, you're not alone. I've heard those words from hundreds of men and women, and the story is almost always the same. They thought they were eating normally, eating the way they always had, until their heart finally spoke up. The truth is, some foods wear down the heart over time, not in dramatic ways, not in ways you notice right away, but like water dripping on stone slowly, patiently, until one day a crack appears. And the first food I want you to imagine is something we Americans have been surrounded by our entire lives: processed meats. Picture a piece of bacon sizzling, crackling, smoky, or a hot dog at a baseball game, or thin slices of deli ham stacked in a sandwich the way your mother used to make it. Now, I'm not here to take away pleasure. I would never do that. But I want you to understand what those foods do inside you. The preservatives use nitrates. Nitrites, they inflame the delicate lining of your arteries. They stiffen them, narrow them, make it harder for blood to move freely, the way a river struggles when debris clogs the banks. I once had a patient, a woman named Teresa, who told me, "Doc, every morning for 40 years I ate sausage for breakfast, and every afternoon I wondered why my chest felt tight." She didn't realize the connection. Most people don't, because no one teaches us that breakfast can become a slow poison. And then there are foods drowned in salt, the kind that pretend to be harmless: canned soups, frozen dinners, instant noodles, the quick meals we reach for on tired evenings, on lonely afternoons, or on days when the weight of life just feels too heavy to cook. Salt, it's sneaky. It pulls water into the bloodstream, makes the heart pump harder, raises blood pressure like a storm swelling a river. Over decades, that pressure wears on the heart muscle, thickening it, straining it, aging it faster than the rest of the body. I had a gentleman in his late 60s tell me once, "Doc, I don't even use a salt shaker, so how do I have high blood pressure?" And I had to show him the labels on the foods he bought. The truth stunned him. Salt wasn't in what he added. It was already baked in, packaged in, preserved in. The next food I want to talk about is something that shaped American culture: fried food. You know the kind. Crispy, golden, comforting in a way that feels like childhood. Fried chicken on Sundays, onion rings on road trips, French fries shared with your grandkids, still hot in the paper carton. But here's the thing: when oils are heated again and again, they create compounds that inflame your arteries. Tiny fires you never feel, but that slowly wear away at your heart's strength. The fat hardens inside the vessel walls, forming plaques like soft clay that eventually turn to stone. I'm not telling you never to enjoy food again, but I want you, just for a moment, to imagine your arteries as small, fragile pathways like winding forest trails. Imagine walking through them with a lantern and seeing the buildup along the edges. Imagine how hard it becomes for blood to travel through those paths when they narrow, year after year. And then there is something most people don't think about: refined sugars and sweetened foods. Sugar isn't just something that affects weight. It affects inflammation, insulin, and yes, the heart. When I explain this to my older patients, I often see the same expression: surprise, sometimes guilt, sometimes sadness, because sugar is emotional. It connects us to holidays, to childhood, to memories of grandparents baking in warm kitchens. But sugar makes triglycerides rise. It makes fat accumulate in the liver. It thickens the blood in subtle ways that fatigue the heart, a patient once told me. "But doc, it's just one cookie at night. It helps me relax." And I asked him, one cookie or the routine of it? One sweet moment or a chain of habits built over 40 years? He stared at the floor for a moment, then nodded slowly, because the truth finally made sense. I want to talk about one more food, something less obvious, but deeply important: highly processed snacks. Chips, crackers, pastries wrapped in plastic, foods that crumble easily because they were never truly whole. They're made to be addictive, designed to melt in the mouth so quickly that your brain screams for more before your stomach even understands what's happening. There's a study I often talk about with my patients, not because I want to overwhelm them with science, but because it illustrates something simple. When we eat ultra-processed foods, our arteries stiffen within hours, not days, not weeks, hours. It's like the body whispers, "This is not what I was designed for." And yet, people tell me, "Doc, these foods are easy, they're convenient, they're cheap." And you know what? They're right. Life is harder now. People are tired, people are busy, people are alone. And sometimes, a bag of chips feels like company, so I never judge. I just help people see the doorway, the path back to something gentler for the heart. Because after all these decades of listening to patients, of seeing hearts fail and hearts recover, I've learned something precious. The heart responds beautifully to kindness, even small kindness, even late-in-life kindness. I remember asking one of my patients, a woman named Eleanor who was 83, "What made you finally change the way you eat?" She smiled and said, "I want to stay alive long enough to see my great-granddaughter graduate," and just like that. She stopped buying the frozen dinners she'd relied on for years, not because she suddenly gained willpower, but because she gained purpose. So let me ask you a question. From one human being to another, who or what is your purpose? What is the thing your heart still longs to be here for? When you find that answer, avoiding these harmful foods stops feeling like sacrifice and starts feeling like devotion. Devotion to life, to longevity, to mornings with less heaviness in your chest, to walks that feel easier. To the quiet joy of waking up and thinking, "I'm still here, and I feel a little better today." If you've been eating these foods for decades, please hear me. It's not too late. The body can heal in extraordinary ways, at 50, at 60, at 80, and beyond. Arteries can soften, inflammation can calm, blood pressure can ease, the heart can strengthen. I've seen it happen again and again, but it begins with awareness and with choosing foods that support the heart instead of burdening it. Earlier, I mentioned my patient Michael, the fisherman with the sun-worn cap. He changed his diet slowly, gently, cut back on bacon, stopped buying canned soups, started cooking a bit more at home. He told me one day, "Doc, my heart doesn't feel older than me anymore. It feels like it's trying to catch up. That is what I want for you. Not perfection, not rigid rules, just listening. Really listening to what your heart has been trying to tell you." So tonight, or tomorrow morning, or sometime this week, I want you to pause before you eat, just for a second. Put your hand on your chest. Feel that rhythm, that quiet, loyal drum that's carried you through decades, and ask yourself, is this food helping my heart or hurting it? That simple question could change the rest of your life. Because your heart, this faithful companion, this storyteller, this keeper of memories, deserves better than foods that slowly dim its light. And you deserve more years, more moments, more stories. I hope you choose them. Thank you for being here with me today. Take care of your heart. It's taken care of you for so long. If you found these insights helpful, please like this video to support our mission, share it with someone you love who may benefit from heart-healthy guidance, and subscribe to Science of Health for more life-changing content designed especially for older adults and caregivers. Your heart matters today, tomorrow, and always.